How you going? Yeah, not bad, mate. Very, very good. Welcome back to some Critical Footy. Last night we had Friday night's game, Crows versus the Hawks, and what a slogfest it was. Down in Tasmania there, Launceston, it was cold. Gee whiz, it looked like a bunch of bloody robots out there, some steam engines, because every time you breathe, you see all this big mist coming out of their mouth. It must have been that bloody cold and slippery too. A lot of blokes fumbling the footy last night. But it was a great contest. Really, really well fought by the Hawks. Crows as well. As you can see here, both sides missed a lot of chances. Bad kicking, bad football. But to be honest, a lot of them weren't the best opportunities. It was a lot of rush kicks and a lot of snaps from the boundary. And it just wasn't falling their way. Wasn't falling their way for either side. But it was all about the pressure. The pressure on the footy and how did the midfield go. That's what won this battle. We have a look at the worm. It was all Crows early. All Crows early. Hawks, they just looked a little bit off the mark. Crows had the pressure and they had the ball used to go with it. Finally, you can see when Hawks got their first goal come the second quarter. 0-2 in the first quarter. But it was the second half that the Crows are mad about because they scored 1-7 in the second half. Took so long to get their first goal of that second half. Finally, Rankin did it towards the later stages of the fourth quarter. Hawks, they kicked, 4-7 in the last quarter. So it was 1-7 and 4-7. Hawks, they really picked up the pressure. They were first to the footy in that second half. And that's what got the job done for them, honestly. There was a lot of free kicks, though. There was a lot of whistles, especially late in the game. It got towards the later stage of that fourth quarter, and I really would have preferred that the umpires just put the whistle away a little bit. But that's okay. They love to stand themselves into the game, don't they? They love to assert themselves, make it all about them. But look, I mean, you could be mad if you're a Crows fan about all these whistles, but at the end of the day, in that second half, Hawks were just a little bit quicker to the ball. Their pressure was just a little bit higher. And when you're getting first to the ball, you're going to be winning those free kicks. The last quarter, though, I must say, Crows fought very valiantly. It was a hell of a quarter. Crows early on, you can see here when they kicked these four behinds in a row, they were putting the pressure on. They were really putting the pressure on, but they just couldn't score. It was reminiscent of the start of the first quarter where they were doing the same thing. But yep, is what it is. Hawks win by 3. Congratulations to you. I thought that not Carl Amon, he had a pretty decent game. Jarman Impey had a great game. I thought that what's his bloody name, Jai Newcomb was going to have a ripper. I don't know if he got tagged, but he got ripped in the midfield. He did not have a good game. But Jarman Impey, Dylan Moore, both played terrific. I liked Rory Laird's game. Ben Keys obviously does his thing. He just works so hard. Jordan Dawson had a good game. I do want to chat about Curtin for the Crows. He's a good player. They've been playing him on the wing a lot. I had a bloke at work who would constantly say to me, I'd bring up this bloke's name, Curtin, and he would say, Crows, what the fuck are they doing? Put him in the fucking midfield. The last 2 years, every time you mention him, put him in the fucking midfield. I can see what he's talking about now. This kid's got potential. And what a target out in the wing. When you have him plus Jordan Dawson in the midfield, and they're both, Curtin's like 197 centimetres or something. Massive bloke and really strong hands. When you got these fellas running all around the ground, you've just got 2 extra options to kick down the line to. And he was really, really making the Hawks pay pretty early on there. Carried through to late game as well. He didn't have a heap of touches, but he was having strong one-on-ones and taking a heap of marks. So yeah, that's good. Good for them. Hawks, great to have the Wizard back. He was pretty dynamic tonight. Looked like he was going to get on it early, but then he had, Worrell had one of the tackles of the season. What a chase down. That was awesome. And a couple more blokes worth mentioning. The ruck battle was very good all night. Both players had their moments. Pretty underrated ruckman, the two of them, O'Brien and Meek. Jake Saligo he is so clean around the ball. It's great to watch. It really is. He'll just get a little tap on and then a quick, just like one grab, clean hands, dish it out. and he's instrumental for the Crows opening up their midfield. And Josh Weddle, wow. If it wasn't for Luke Jackson, I'd be calling this bloke the most athletic guy in the competition. He's an absolute freak. The way he can run with his size, it's wicked. And he tore it apart in the third quarter. He was very, very good for the Hawks and massive in their comeback during that third term. So we'll have a quick look at the ladder here. The Crows, you can see, yes, they lost. Ladder position hasn't changed. You expect it might change if the Cats get over the Bombers later this weekend. The Suns, so strange here. Yes, they've dropped to 6th. They've also played 2 less games than the Crows. Like, it's just strange. It's very strange. 1 less loss, as you can see, than both Hawks and the Crows. But that's just how it sits. It's gonna change a lot at the end of the season. But yep, interesting, very interesting. And now Hawks, I chatted about them about 4 weeks ago, and because they had 4 really, really tough teams to come up against, 4 in a row, and going into it, I said, gee, if they can split these 4 games and go 2-2, which I think they will, then they're going to set themselves up really well for the later stages of the season and going into the bye. And they've only gone and done it after losing those first 2 to the Suns and they had 5 in a row, but it was these 4 that I was talking about. I thought they were going to beat the Suns pretty well, but they lost to the Suns. But then it was Brisbane and Collingwood, and they got beat convincingly, quite convincingly, as you can see. Everyone was starting to have doubts about them, but then they come back against the Dogs and against the Crows. They get back to that good standard of footy, applying strong pressure, and now they can roll into the bye off the back of these 2 wins, sitting pretty on the ladder there, as you can see. And look at their run home now. Now it's starting to get easier. North, Saints, Port, Carlton, Crows again, Collingwood, Melbourne. Look, a few toughies at the end, but compared to their last month, they'll take that. They'll take that all day. Yeah, look, it was a fun game. Enjoyed it. That's all I have to say about that. Who we got today? I have taken the Leones, the Caddies, the Curs, and that is all for your Saturday. Enjoy the footy. Uru bludgers. Ta-ta.